Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to all of you for April the 24th, 2020. Again, I am your host, Chi-Town Zone. For those of you, again, watching for the first time, do feel free to subscribe and be sure to hit that little bell so whenever a video is uploaded, you will be notified, guys. But of course, you want to be sure to hit that little bell because that's the only way you will be notified whenever a video is uploaded, guys. But with that being said, I hope everyone is having a blessed day so far, guys. I wasn't too happy this morning when I had learned the news of yesterday's press conference with our own governor here, where we now know that he has ordered to have the stay-at-home order extended to May the 30th now. So now we have another 5 more weeks until this thing expires, as we were approaching the deadline here. However, though, little good news out of all this, we do know that parks are expected to reopen to the public. However, though, they do continue to urge that everybody be sure to distance themselves from one another or whatever. Be sure to wear masks or whatever you need to do whenever you step out of the house. Or even if you don't want to wear masks, that's okay. You know, nobody really can't necessarily force you to either. But, just be sure to keep those hands washed and try not to touch your face or whatever the case might be. But as we know that, this is a real thing that we're going through right now, and unfortunately it is costing people their lives. As we also learned as well this morning that at least 100 more people have lost their lives here throughout Illinois in just a matter of 24 hours, guys. But again, we're going to continue to do our very best to monitor this as well. But we know our own governor here again just yesterday stated during a press conference that they are going to extend the stay-at-home order until May the 30th now. So yes, we have another 5 more weeks to go, unfortunately. And as of right now as well, I do know, because there's a social media site that I do follow as well called Chicago Code Blue. I believe I mentioned it as well in another previous video via Facebook. They had mentioned May the 1st, where our own governor is supposed to be speaking again at the Thompson Center here in the downtown area, not too far from here, is going to make it official by doing another briefing. But of course, the social media website is urging people to come along and protest because, for one, the American people need to get back to work. We cannot go much longer without work, guys. President Trump, we know President Trump wants to get the economy back up and running, but right now it's mainly the Democrats right now that are refusing to do so, including here as well, where our own governor once again has extended the stay-at-home order. But we're going to continue to keep our eye on this, guys. But if you happen to be watching this for the first time and you haven't subscribed yet, you definitely want to, because if in the event that something does take place, there should be protesting, I will be there to get video, guys, because this is absolutely getting ridiculous. The American people need to get back to work already. And, when you really think about everything that's going on now, guys, okay, it's all about common sense. Now, like I said, if you don't want to wear a mask, you don't have to whenever you're in public. Or, wherever you're in public and you don't, as I've said before, at least keep your hands washed. Carry a little bottle of hand sanitizer with you, or whatever it is you need to do. So, can't nobody force you to wear a mask if you don't want to wear one for your own safety or whatever the case might be. But, moving on, guys. So, as I've said, just now that, when I heard the news this morning, I definitely was not in a very good mood at all when I heard that the stay-at-home order was now extended into the end of May now. So we could only wait and see, guys. But we do know that just recently, I think American Joe did a video on it as well, where we know that protesters gathered there in Michigan outside of the governor's mansion or wherever it was, and were protesting because, for one, the people are getting sick and tired of the stay-at-home order thing. And I think it wasn't just in Michigan. I think it was also in Texas, where protesters had gathered to protest because everybody's just tired of this. The American people need to get back to work. We need to get our economy back up and running. And I mean, it's way out of hand now. But I don't know, guys. I mean, tell me how you feel about this. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. I mean, do you think, our own governor, even though he's a Democrat, did the right thing by extending the stay-at-home order thing? Because, for one, he's mentioned a few times previously throughout this past week or whatever that there's definitely a bend in the curve when it comes to this virus issue thing, less people getting admitted to the hospital or whatever the case may be. But now he went on, like I've said, you know, he did a briefing yesterday where he stated that, you know, they have to extend the stay-at-home order now. And there's just a lot of things that just don't make any sense, you know, for one, because you know, look at the whole thing with the churches being closed down. You know, it's funny, you know, non-essential places like liquor stores are wide open for business, right? Grocery stores are as well, but I'm not saying that, you know, we don't need grocery stores because everybody needs to keep food in their house or whatever the case might be, right? But I'm talking about places like liquor stores, wide open for business. Non-essential places, you know what I'm saying? But when you think about it, you know, it's okay to close down churches, but it's, you know, it seems to almost be a problem when it comes to liquor stores. You know, I mean, like I said, they're wide open for business. And it just, a lot of things about this whole thing just don't make any sense whatsoever, guys. But I know it's a different topic for a different time because I know Will Johnson of Unite America First, I'm pretty sure many of you know who I'm talking about as well, did a topic on this himself. And I think The Mind of Jamal, he's another great guy I follow on YouTube. He did an entire topic on this as well, the same thing, you know, with the liquor stores and the churches and whatnot. And it's just craziness, guys. But moving on. Of course, I will be leaving links in the description box below, but you're not going to want to miss this one. I'm pretty sure many of you had watched President Trump's briefing yesterday and how the media is trying to spin his words now. And, you know, many via social media as well are stating, oh, President Trump is suggesting we inject Lysol in our systems and yada, yada, etc. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case, but that's what the media does. You know, they tend to spin things, guys, you know, to try to get, you know, clicks or whatever. Kind of like clickbait, pretty much. But here, of course, this is out of Breitbart News, where the headline here reads, you guys, Lysol says don't inject disinfectants after Trump's remarks. Well, this should be pretty interesting, guys, because President Trump did not mention Lysol by name. Of course, well, we do know that Lysol is a disinfectant, but of course, right now that does not seem to be the case whatsoever, as we do know that William Bryan of the Department of Homeland Security went on to state that researchers are testing the effects of disinfectants and the virus, and, you know, looking to see, you know, what can it do? No way or shape or form is anybody suggesting to inject disinfectants into your system, because we all know that's very dangerous, guys. But here the article reads, this is out of the Washington AP, the parent company of Lysol and another disinfectant warned today that its products should not be used as eternal treatment for the coronavirus after President Trump wondered about the prospect during a White House briefing. Of course, this was yesterday, guys. But the article here further reads that Trump noted Thursday that researchers were looking at the effects of disinfectants on the virus and wondered aloud if they could be injected into people, saying the virus does a tremendous number on the lungs. Of course, you know, it's very unfortunate, you know, what this virus is doing to people. And, you know, the kind of strain it's really taking on people. There was this one doctor I was watching the other day on YouTube, and he pretty much basically broke it all down, how the virus affects the lungs and everything. If I can remember his name after I'm done with this video, I'll probably leave a link in the description box below where you can watch this doctor. But the article here further reads, you guys, as a global leader in health and hygiene products, the article here reads, we must be clear that under no circumstances should our disinfectant products be administered into the human body. Of course, someone had mentioned from Lysol, I think it was, a spokesperson. But here the article further reads, researchers are currently testing the effects of disinfectants on the virus, laden saliva and respiratory fluids in a laboratory, said William Bryan of the Department of Homeland Security. They kill the virus very quickly, he went on to further state here, guys. But we do know that, you know, many of these these disinfectants are very well good for you know, killing airborne viruses such as the flu virus or anything else of that sort. But again, guys, this just goes to show just how the media absolutely spins, Trump's words. Nowhere did, that press briefing yesterday, President Trump suggested people should inject themselves with these disinfectants. But moving on, guys, the article further reads here: on Thursday, the White House also pitched emerging research on benefits of sunlight and humidity in diminishing the threat of the coronavirus. Past studies have not found good evidence that the warmer temperatures and higher humidity of spring, summer will help tamp down the spread of the virus. But of course, guys, we're going to continue to do our very best to monitor this, guys. But the article further reads here before we move on. William Bryan of the Department of Homeland Security said at a White House briefing Thursday that there are emerging results from the research that suggest solar light has a powerful effect in killing the virus on surfaces and in the air. He said scientists have seen a similar effect from higher temperatures and humidity. But of course, in Maryland, went on to state here, have been conducting testing on the virus since February. Bryan went on to state. So of course we know that this has been going on for quite some time now. I think they were saying earlier here, our local news, that this has been happening here since January, from what someone has suggested. But many people may have not knew by then. Until it's things started to become worse as they are now. But of course, moving on, guys, I will be leaving a link in the description box below where you can read further into this yourself, guys. But again, it's just craziness what's going on. Everybody's in a frenzy right now with everything that's going on. I'm pretty sure many of you remember it was in March. It was early March. It was just absolutely going crazy in the grocery stores everywhere. I took some pictures myself while I was in one of the local grocery stores in the neighborhood, and it was unlike anything I've ever seen before, you guys. And unfortunately, I didn't have a mask or gloves or anything at the time because everybody was panic buying. And me nor my wife were able to even find anything via Amazon at the time. So it's absolutely ridiculous, guys, of what's going on. But we're going to continue to do our very best to monitor this, as we know that this is a real pandemic, guys. And I'm not saying, to panic, but I'm not saying, don't take precautions either, because as I've stated before, you need to take precautions such as wash your hands, wash your face whenever you step out, or if you want, wear a mask as well. Be sure to carry a little bottle of hand sanitizer with you whenever you may be out, some gloves if you happen to have anything like that, guys. But of course, as I've stated, we're going to continue to do our very best to monitor this. But with that being said, guys, please do stay tuned. For those of you, again, watching for the first time, be sure to subscribe again and be sure to hit that little bell. And again, I will be back with some more news or any breaking news if we happen to have any, guys. And with that being said, do stay tuned and God bless.